Hi everybody, look at me. Sure, they got a haircut. For Christmas. Kind of thing. A little shit. Okay, this is going to be anime series review. The reason I say that is because got a little cough from cleaning the room and shit. Anyway, a few of them have ended. At least 3. Yeah, that's a lot. We'll see how I do, how I go about this. If I can do all of them, but because I already have a comedy to do and Fate Stay Night, but I should be able to do some of these. Which I'm going to do this one, and these other two. The other two are Amagi Brilliant Park. I believe that ended, and Laughing in the Clouds. So I gotta watch those two. But this is going to be Wixoss Selector spread. Now, I actually, when, this season of it, it had to come in, you had to come in knowing that they had some things to answer. They had some questions that needed to be answered as far as what had transpired, what needs to be answered in the series, what had been transpiring, and what needed to be answered when it concerned Tama and the one from the white window, the white room, which we find out in this series it was Mayu. I already did a video on Wixoss spread for the first impressions, but now that I've seen it, I'm actually, I don't know how to take the ending, because on one hand, a lot of people, when they first see this, they think about one thing. They think Madoka Magica because of the dark tones and how it's presented. But the way they ended this, I have to say, kind of strange. I mean, basically in this final episode, you kind of do feel for Mayu. I do. Believe me, I do. And, really, the only really evil son of a bitch in this show was Eulith. Her. Because she was just a bitch. And she wanted to just make everyone suffer. But Mayu, you do feel for in this final episode. And I liked how they did Tama and Yuki, how that whole combination thing went around. And the wish that she got was pretty much everyone, all the girls who were turned into Lrigs, L-R-I-Gs, to be turned back to humans. That's pretty much the wish. And, the only spoiler I'm going to say about is what transpired towards the end. And the actual ending leaves me with a question, which I think can be answered. They should answer. And, I'm not going to say a season 3, because I don't think a season 3... I think a season 3... I don't know about a season 3. To be honest, I think they could answer this question in a few OVAs. Like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. But if they do a season 3, this would be what it is. And the battle with Mayu... It was pretty intense. It was pretty emotional. In fact, I cried a few times. Yeah, no pun intended. I really did cry. I cried when Ruko and Mayu have this moment. This is after their actual... It's not really a battle. A battle does take doesn't really take place. Well, it does, but it's really more along the lines of, guess what this card is, kind of, which was kind of weird. And she guessed it right, and then Eulith gets sent to this area. She's like, ah! She's complaining like a little bitch that she didn't have the opportunity to fight and kill her. It was so fucking stupid. But she got, you know. And then that's when Mayu and Ruko has this moment, have this touching moment, and she just disappears, Mayu. And when it comes down to it, the Wixoss game was created, the Selectors were created or made into play because of one girl who wanted to make the world suffer because of the fact that she had a horrible life. She lived in a room where she didn't have the opportunity to go outside, to go explore the world. She was a prisoner in her own house. It was pretty fucked up. Now, the other thing about this ending was it didn't get the Madoka Magica. And what I mean when I say that is in Madoka Magica, because in some ways this is very familiar to Madoka Magica. How, you know, in Madoka Magica, Madoka, you know, she makes her wish and, you know, she dies, but she saves everyone. Here, Ruko does become an eternal girl, and she does her thing with Tama, with the hold hands and take a plea and the thing. But she doesn't get turned into a card. Now, I think part of the reason is because of the fact that Mayu is been dealt with, so to speak. You know, it's hard, really rude to say there, but that's probably why she didn't get turned into a card. Now, after that, we basically, because you see, her wish was to turn everyone back. Everyone that were lyrics into normal humans, normal girls. So, the thing that tripped me was towards the end. This was the other part that I cried at, was you hear Thomas saying, Rue, Rue, and then she says Rue really loud, and then she appears in front of her. And I'm like, holy shit. And then all of a sudden, she's gone. And then towards the very end, you see her, and she's on top of this water tower. And I like the touch, how they made her human, Tama. She actually has a darker tone hair, which I'm guessing is because of Yuki. But that's pretty much towards the end of the episode. And overall, I will say this. Wixoss Selector spread and the first season. This was a really good anime. I really have to say that. It really was. And I find that even though they could have went with a tragic ending where Ruko sacrifices herself because she's imprisoned in a card, everybody else is freed. They could have gone that route. But in some way, I think this is touching in a way that even though she got everyone out, she's still continuing her supposed journey, supposedly, and she wants to find Tom, obviously. Because it seems like she was, at least from what I'm seeing, turned into an old girl as well. And overall, I thought this season, and in some extent the first season, together like this, made it a real complete anime. And I like how we had this back and forth. And we got answers. They answered a lot of questions about the White Room, Mayu, what happened, why she created the Selector game, everything. So give that credit. Now, overall rating, I would probably give, and this is also season 1 too, but in season 2 also. I give this a 9. A 10, that's stretching it. Giving it a perfect score. I wouldn't go that far. The music's fantastic. The animation was fantastic. JC Steph did a fantastic job with this show, with this anime. But I still feel like this Tama thing, her turning into a human and everything, that could have been, I suppose, if they did another episode, resolved. But then again, maybe it's along the lines where they're going to make another season. And the ending was good. I thought it was, a show that kind of feels a lot like Madoka Magica. Excuse me. And they came out with a really good ending. Kudos to them, I say. Because she was able, and you go around the final scenes where you see Akira, Lucky, Iona, Yuzuki, everyone. They're all having normal lives. It's back to normal. And they still play the game. That's the other thing that kind of really surprised me. They still play the game. It's a normal game, but they still play the Wixoss game, which is kind of interesting. So I thought this was a complete good show. Not a perfect score, though. Perfect score, I think, would be stretching it. I wouldn't just abruptly say, oh yeah, 10 out of 10 is the best fucking shit. There were some leeways here and there. Obviously with, they answered everything, but I feel like the ending, I'm not going to say that if it was done darker, would have made it better, I suppose. But I feel like having it like this is just as good. 9 out of 10 people. Wixoss was a what the fuck most of the time. And I really enjoyed it. If this comes out on Blu-ray by Funimation, I would definitely buy it. No hands down buy it. No question. And what do you have to, and if you guys want to ask me who's my favorite, it's Tama. Yeah. Battouru. She was the best. It's just her and I will say Yuki as well. But overall, 9 out of 10. The animation was fantastic. The music was unbelievable in Wixoss. It was fantastic. So tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. This is Bonkai922. I'll see you guys later. Tama. Ru. And give it for Ruko. Like, she truly was like light in the final episode. And she was trying her very best to help Mayu. Even though Mayu did some fucked up shit. I'll see you guys later. Peace.